Saving what we love. I love you.
I know.
What's up, guys? Matt here from the Outer Rim, bringing you game one of our Valentine's Day triple header featuring decks built around love. It's the day of love, so we're going to celebrate it. We've got Jeff down at the bottom playing Lando and L3 from the Solo movie. We've got Steven on the top playing a very interesting version of Anakin and Padme, and I had to just for some reason throw in a Gungan. Okay. Jeff is running a profitable connection because he is Lando, so that is allowed. He's on Weapons Factory Alpha, and we are off and running. So Lando rolls out first, rolls out a Disrupt and a Blank. Steven plays Bartering on Padme. And now we've got Jeff running Frenzen low. See that Steven really doesn't have anything in his hand for Jeff to be able to take. So an Honor Guard in there. So Steven will go ahead and roll out Padme. Padme rolls out a special, a 2 focus, and a 1 discard. This deck seems to be built a lot around Mill. Padme was a Mill person back in Awakenings, and Anakin is obviously featured in the Millionaires decks and a lot of other decks that focus not necessarily on damage but on control or mill purposes. So we see a little power action from Lando along with Weapons Factory Alpha. He paid 2 for the Falcon. He's going to be able to roll it out. It does have ambush on it, and after rolling out the Falcon, he's going to be able to roll out L3. Falcon rolls out a 3 range, very nice, and a L3 rolls the 1 resource and the 1 discard. Jeff goes ahead and puts a 3 quickly into Padme. Padme will go ahead and take the resource, and with Bartering Special allows both players to draw a card. Jeff thinking over his actions here. Jeff already has all his dice out in the pool, so he was only activated Padme so far. Once again, all 3 of the decks you'll see today are really focused around the theme of love and trying something new. It's not necessarily anything meta calls. You will see some Convergence spoilers later on, so make sure to check out the later videos for some of those new awesome Convergence cards. Jeff re-rolls and gets a 2 indirect, a blank, a shield, and a focus. Steven immediately throws down a bubble shield. Very thematic there with Naboo. I think Steven thought of Naboo as the theme instead of Valentine's Day, but we'll go with it for now. Jeff puts the 2 indirect, and Steven decides to take that on the bubble shield. See the Gungan activate. He rolls a 1 shield. Just down to 3 cards. I think he's going to see here. See some focusing, or see some resolving of dice, and not necessarily trying to discard or re-roll here. That's what you get. We get a focus. Steven weighing over his options. Alright, gonna activate Anakin. Baby Annie. Baby Annie whiffs, rolls a blank and a 1 resource. So not much discarding going on this turn for Steven. Steven will use the 2 focus. It's going to focus to a discard and a resource on the Gungan. Yep, and there's that easy pickings to get rid of the 2 discards. Pay 1 to save a card. Not a bad strategy when it comes to playing against mill. Jeff claims, and we are off. Getting ready to set for round 2 shortly. Steven's going to drop a stealthy in real fast. Then also drop a diplomatic protection on the Gungan. Of course, diplomatic protection, after that attached character is killed, you can give 2 shields to each of the rest of your characters for the game. So I'd expect a lot of indirect to go straight towards the Gungan, try to get those extra 2 shields for Padme and Anakin, increase that health pool just a little bit. The Gungan is not going to be a major factor in this. He has no mill sides of any sort, nothing to really bring to the table. Alright, round 2 starts. Lando activates. Gets the double blanks. Shout out to those guys for their awesome content. Jeff now pondering his life after rolling terrible on Lando. L3 is probably yelling at him. Meanwhile, I think Padme is wondering why this Gungan is still hanging out. Steven drops an Honor Guard. It's a card you haven't seen in a while from the starter sets. It's nice to see us getting some more new starter sets with the convergence and the new rotation. Jeff drops down an Art Caster. That's going to let him roll in the Falcon, and he'll be able to re-roll a die. So he rolls the Falcon out, and he gets a 1 shield and the 2 range. And the Falcon's ability is going to allow L3 to roll out. L3 hits a shield and a shield. Steven's just going to take the range from the Falcon off the field with Honor Guard. There's Jeff again with the Friends in Low. Steven, I'm not sure what's going on here. Decides he wants to throw his cards all over the place. Goes ahead and takes a clandestine operation out. And yeah, that's the only one. Suppressive Fire is a support. Can't take that off the field. And the 2 entangles are both 2 costs. Friends in Low places only works on 1 and below. Steven's going to activate Padme. Not bad. Two specials and 1 blank. Jeff immediately goes for the Lothcat. Lothcat will allow Steven to pick a die to remove, and then Jeff will be able to pick a die to remove on Steven's side. So he takes a special. Padme's special real quick is you can discard the top card of a deck, or you can pay a resource to discard a second card off the top of an opponent's deck. Anakin rolls a special on Stealthy, a resource and a resource. Special and Stealthy is you can remove a die showing a particular number and discard the top cards of an opponent's deck equal to the value on that die. Jeff decides to re-roll, rolls a 4 resource with but he has to pay 2 for that, and he does not have 2 resources right now. He shows a 2 range on Lando and then 2 focuses. Steven just goes ahead and resolves on those resources. Just going to use one of the 2 focuses on L3 to focus to 2 resources. That's going to allow him to ramp up to get up to 4. Steven quickly shuts that down. Plays Entangle. That's really going to hurt Jeff's plan long term on trying to get out some more weapons. Try to build up that resource bank. Okay, so he's going to discard the N1. I'm not sure that's the best thing, but he decides he wants to do that, and that's what he gets. Gungan rolls out, hits a blank. Where's Boss Nass when you need him? Jeff's going to take the resource. Probably see a re-roll here. Try to maximize. Yep. And Entangle no longer does good this turn. Get a blank and a 2 indirect on the Gungan. Jeff goes ahead and claims. You're going to see the ability on Stealthy with Special to remove a die. So he removes a 2 indirect. So it'll be 2 cards off the top of Jeff's deck. Steven trying to point out that it's going to be 2 cards. Yep. There's a Shadowcaster. Losing those 2 resources to gain 4 really is going to hurt Jeff long term. Okay, so Steven goes ahead and pays the 1 on the special on Padme. So Jeff discards another 2 from the top of his deck. So that was 4 just in. So Jeff's deck's already starting to look on the thinner side. And right before the round starts, Steven's going to go ahead and drop a Suppressive Fire down. And you'll notice Steven has kept his battlefield docking bay off to the side. He hasn't flipped it over or deleted it. You will find out soon enough why it's important that he did what he did. So Jeff's going to start with 3 resources this round. That's not enough for anything like a Shadowcaster. He can play an N1 Starfighter. If he has a mod or 2, he could play another Arccaster. So he's going to weigh his options here. So Jeff's going to play one of the new Convergence cards. We're Home. It allows him to activate a yellow vehicle and up to 2 Scoundrel characters, and Lando is a Scoundrel character. And the Falcon's ability allows him to activate L3. So he's going to activate everything at once right here. All he has to do is show a resource side on one of his dice. And he does have that on one of the L3 dice. And if he removes that, then he is allowed to reset the Falcon. Or ready the Falcon. Yep, so he points that out, and there's a reset of the Falcon. So the Falcon's going to be able to potentially do quite a bit of damage here. Or not. Steven plays Garbage Chute for the Gungan. So those 2 dice that had major damage, that was, let's see, that was a 4 indirect and a +2. That would have been at least 4 indirect. Steven wanting to use Suppressive Fire as well, and he's decided to change his mind on that. Technically, he would be allowed to still use Suppressive Fire because that was still part of Jeff's original action. We're going to get activation here from Anakin. Anakin once again representing that solid double blanks gaming side, and a 2 indirect on Stealthy. Real fast, while these guys are thinking about their next moves, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to provide different kinds of content than what you normally see, such as the Valentine's Day triple header you're now watching, some fun Destiny After Dark. We'll be taking a break from our Thursday night Kessel Run series this week due to Valentine's Day and the final regionals of the season taking place this weekend. But we'll be back starting next week with more Thursday night Kessel Run action. We're also in the process of getting ready to start our 100 subscriber giveaway for your YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that video, probably coming out early or probably the latter part of this week, maybe this weekend. Got some exciting news for that. The channel's growing. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Yeah, we're just waiting for Jeff and Steven to talk about a few things. Jeff did go ahead and drop down Escape Craft on his side of the board. Steven will pass. Just rolls in the escape craft. Padme still has not activated yet. Here we go. Padme once again, man, let me tell you what, Double Blank's getting some huge promotion tonight on this video. Hitting 2 blanks in the +1 resource side on the bartering. Steven's going to discard his garbage chute to reroll everything. Get some okay stuff. Gets a resource, a shield, resource. He does hit 2 specials and the 1 focus, so he can really do some damage to Jeff's deck. And just like a couple turns ago, there's another Loft Cat and Mouse. Yep. It's the infamous use 1 card to save another card. Good technique against Mill, probably not against others. Steven took 2 resources, but Jeff went ahead and disrupted one of them. Jeff's got 4 resources now. He's able to pay for any pay sides on the Falcon when it rolls back out. Steven deciding to do circles around for probably trying to draw a heart instead of drawing a circle. And Jeff's going to claim. I don't think Jeff wants to do that. That's what Steven's pointing out. He still has not used the second activation on the Falcon. So yeah, so Jeff's going to go ahead and use the attachment ability of the escape craft onto the Falcon. Then he'll be able to roll it out shortly. Okay, so there's a rollout. Now there's some decent damage. 4 indirect, 3 indirect, and a shield. And the one card that Jeff did not want to see was that second bubble shield. That's going to eat up all 4 on the Falcon. It'll take both bubble shields out of play, but he'll only be able to do 3 effective damage. And that's probably going to go on the Gungan. It doesn't make sense to go on the Gungan because he's got the diplomatic protection. Steve is going to go ahead and pay. So he decides not to use the ability on the special on Padme. He decides to pay 2 for the Ascension Gun. That's the reason he's keeping Docking Bay available. The special on the Ascension Gun allows you to use the ability on the battlefield that was not brought to the game. So in this case with Docking Bay, he can play a support from his discard pile, decreasing the cost by 1. We did go ahead and see Steven use the special on Padme and just discard 1 card from Jeff's deck. Jeff is starting to run a little bit low on cards here. We're off to round 4 now. Jeff rolls out Lando. It's a 1 resource and a disrupt. Jeff's just having a hard time getting his board state truly established. I mean, he's been able to get the Falcon, a couple upgrades on it, but he doesn't have that second vehicle to really get the engine going, get a lot of damage off. And with a mill deck, L3 is not performing to her best ability. So Stephen quickly rolls out Padme. He rolls a 2 focus, a discard, another discard, and 1 range on the Ascension gun. Jeff immediately pulls out his partnership, so he's going to roll out the Falcon first. Falcon rolls a 2 resource, and a +2 range. Allows him to roll out L3 with partnership. He could also do it with the Falcon either way. Get a 1 shield and a 1 focus. Jeff will pay the 1 resource to take an additional action, so he's going to focus the Falcon. So he uses the 2 focus on L3. Nope, he figures out, yep, that's what you need to do, is only 1 focus. So you get the escape craft to the resource and the Falcon to the 3 range. So you're showing 5 damage there from the Falcon and the Arc Caster. I mean, 3 enough is enough to kill the Gungan, but that's the last person you want to kill. You're really trying to pressure at Padme. Alright. Steven goes ahead and just discards 2 from Jeff's hand, gets another partnership. We saw that N1 Starfighter go out of Jeff's hand too. That would have been a great play for Jeff to be able to use a special on it to reset the Falcon. So there's the 5 into Padme. She's down to 2 health left. Steven, knowing that Jeff doesn't have anything else threatening Padme right now, goes ahead and rolls out Anakin. It's a blank, a resource, and a resource. If anybody knows of a double resource gaming, let us know. We'll shout them out as well. There's the easy pickings. So Steven's board state's pretty strong right now. He still has that diplomatic protection on the Gungan. Sentient Gun's going to be great for him to be able to recycle either a bubble shield, an honor guard, even suppressive fire. So there's a 2 focus off Padme. Focuses Anakin to the resource and uses moves the Ascension Gun over to the special. Jeff's going to discard through the pass. He's going to get a reroll here. There's a 1 focus, a 1 resource, a 2 range, and a 1 discard. Excuse me. So he is threatening lethal on Padme. Steven hovering over that docking bay. He must have something up his sleeve here. Okay, so here's 2 resources. It looks like we're getting an overwrite. Probably going to be, yep, exactly. Get the overwrite for the second chance. So that 2 will pop it. That'll keep Padme alive through the round. There goes the second chance. That's going to allow Steven to use the special on the Ascension Gun. He's going to bring out an honor guard. And with its ability, he can bring it out for free. Alright, so Steven takes a resource there. Get a focus off of the escape craft. And a claim by Jeff. Steven will go ahead and roll out his mighty Gungan. No, get some damage. There's the free damage. He'll just slap that on Lando. It doesn't matter at this point to him. He is so focused on milling out Jeff. So quick reset here. The Gungan's got 3 health left. Anakin is full health at 7. Padme's down to 5 health remaining, but his Steven's side of the board has a suppressive fire and an honor guard on standby. Jeff, meanwhile, is okay on the Falcon. He needs another vehicle ASAP. something like an N1 Starfighter, just something to get more pressure on the board. So we're going to start round 5. Lando's going to roll a resource and a resource. And there's an easy pickings. Jeff gonna. Oh, this is interesting here. He's gonna use drop in. They are playing on his battlefield, so this will have ambush. He's gonna be able to roll out the Falcon in L3. All right, so the Falcon rolls out a 1 focus. Got a 4 indirect on the Falcon himself. It's a pay side with 1 range. L3 rolls a shield and a discard. So Jeff's going to consider what he wants to do with his ambush action. Yep, pay the 1, deal the 4 indirect. And Steven very correctly takes 3 on the Gungan to kill the Gungan. They have to assign the indirect first, which he does. He puts a 1 on Anakin, and then he can give each character 2 shields. There's a field medic from Steven. So effectively, Padme is at 9 health remaining. Get an impulsive play here. It's going to allow Jeff to focus to the 3 indirect on the Arccaster. That'll just come off the shields. Here comes Padme. Alright, see a blank there. There's a discard on her other dice, and then get a 2 range on the Ascension Gun. Jeff gonna go ahead and just discard 1 out of Steven's hand. Comes Little Orphan Annie, rolling out with a resource, a blank, and a 2 shield. So with as thin as Jeff's deck is, I think this game is for the most part how I would figure it would go. I don't see Lando and L3 really having as much chemistry here in Destiny as they do in the movie Solo. Steven will pitch his other suppressive fire to reroll. It's a blank, a special, a resource, and a special. Once again, that special on the Ascension Gun will allow him, he can bring that suppressive fire or another honor card back for free, because it discounts about 1. Alright, so we get a discard of this other second chance. Get another reroll here, so we've got a shield, a discard, and we still have those 2 specials. Just the ability to recycle honor guard and suppressive fire, it's really it's taking a toll on Jeff's ability to do damage. He should have been able to kill Padme 2 turns ago. Now she's almost down to like 2 health. Steven using the special on the Ascension Gun here. Probably just going to bring back an honor guard. That'd be the easiest play. Because honor guard, you can do it at any time, where suppressive fire, it has to be a character dice and it has to be done upon activation. Yep. Take a shield on the other Anakin dice, and that's the end of that round. So we see Jeff's down to his last 2 cards. He's going to need to put some major damage and hope that Steven has no damage this round. Very interesting. Jeff decides to play his second Arccaster, so he's down to 1 card left. I mean, I think he has decided he's going to just go gung-ho this round and try for it all. Here's the roll. Alright, so we get a focus. Alright, so what we're seeing here is the game is basically over. We understand that. but because the Artcaster ability has the ability to re-roll a die after you activate, Suppressive Fire and then Artcaster's ability both go into a queue. And because Jeff controlled the battlefield, he was able to use the Artcaster's ability first to re-roll a die, and then Steven was able to use Suppressive Fire to remove the 2 range on Lando. And that was going to do it either way, so it didn't really matter. But good games to both guys, and we'll be back shortly with the next round.